What's up guys, my name's Brandon, and just as predicted, Apple releases iOS 14.3 RC build to both registered developers and to public beta testers about a week after the release of Beta 3. So the RC build, which Apple used to call the GM build, but they just recently switched to calling it the RC build or the release candidate build, this is usually the final build that is released for beta testers ahead of the public release from Apple, which we will see iOS 14.3 public next week. And we also got this new RC build for iPadOS, tvOS, and also for watchOS 7.2. But anyways, in this video, we're going to be covering everything new in iOS 14.3 RC. And also at the end, we're going to discuss when we can expect the final public release. So as you can see here, the size of this update came in at 4.54 gigabytes on my iPhone 12 Pro here. That size will be pretty large no matter where you're coming from, even from Beta 3, since this is again pretty much the final build, most likely the final build of 14.3 that we will see early next week. We probably will not get this update on our phones if you are on the beta program. If you have the profile installed, you will not be receiving this update next week because it's going to be most likely the exact same build. So let's go ahead and check out what that build number is. So if you go to our settings, general about 14.3, you can see the build number here is 18C65. And if we scroll down a little bit to the modem firmware, you can see that this is unchanged from Beta 3. So it remains at 1.31.03-5. So if your cell connectivity issues were still not solved in Beta 3, they probably won't be solved until a later version of iOS. Although I will say that Beta 3 did improve connectivity a little bit, but we'll talk more about that here in a few. So anyways, what's new here in this RC build of iOS 14.3? So basically the main thing that's changed here in the RC build compared to the Beta 3 build from last week is going to be a lot of bug fixes that I'll talk about here in a moment, along with full compatibility for the new Fitness Plus service, which is coming out. So there will be a new fitness app on iOS and on the watch on watchOS as well for Apple's new highly anticipated Fitness Plus service. So this has full support for that. And actually, if you go into the changelog here for 14.3, you can see everything that is added here for Fitness Plus. So you can see that it says you get a new fitness app on iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV to browse Fitness Plus workouts. You also get the video workouts added each week in 10 popular workout types. You have the playlist curated and also the subscription. It shows the availability for the available country. So you get full support for Apple Fitness Plus here in 14.3. And then down below that, you'll see that we also have full support for the new AirPods Max. So these are the new over-ear AirPods, which I did make a video on earlier this morning. If you missed that, it's up in the cards and down in the description below. It's basically a video talking about if you should buy them or not, since they are $550. So make sure to watch that video. But basically the RC build here, and of course the final release of 14.3 will add full support for the AirPods Max. And you can see we also have things like adaptive EQ, we have the high fidelity audio, active noise cancellation, we have transparency mode, and spatial audio. So I will be covering those AirPods Max here on the channel next week as well. So stay tuned for that. But this build adds full support for that. Then you can see we have a lot of other things like Pro RAW support added. We have some health additions there, some weather improvements, things like that. So there's a lot of other features and changes in 14.3, and I've covered all those pretty much in my beta coverage videos here on the channel. So I'm not going to be repetitive and just go over all those features again. I will talk about all those in my final release video though. So on Monday or Tuesday, whenever iOS 14.3 gets released, that's when I will cover everything new in this update. But this video, I just want to talk about what's new from Beta 3 to this RC build. So if we look down at the bottom of the release notes here, you'll notice that we have some bug fixes down here. And some of these were not addressed in previous versions of iOS 14.3, and mainly the first one. So it says some MMS messages may not be received. So a lot of people have been complaining about this, and it looks like Apple has fixed this in 14.3. So if you're not getting MMS messages, those could be, being received now with 14.3 RC and of course the final build. And then another pretty annoying bug that was fixed, and I covered this in my previous videos and I showed you guys how this was not working, but Spotlight search now fully works whenever you search something. So sometimes when I would search an application here in the Spotlight search and I would try to tap on it, it would just simply not open. I would not be able to do anything. I would have to press the blue go button down here to open up the application because I would not be able to click on this at all. So that's been fixed in the RC build. Also, some videos would not appear correctly when shared from the Photos application. So this happened to me, and it's not just iPhone to iPhone either. This actually happened to me when I went from my Mac Mini to my iPhone. When I sent a video, it would just not appear. It would show all black. Like when I played the video, it would play, but it would just be all black. So I'm assuming that's what this bug fix is. That was the bug, and it looks like 14.3 does fix that. And then we just have a bunch of other bug fixes down here as well, which again, I will cover in my 14.3 public release video, which is coming next week. But as far as the yellow tint issue or the text message notification bugs, neither one of those were fixed in beta 3. So you guys know that I've been using iOS 14.3 beta on my main device. This is my main device right here since day one. So I've been really closely monitoring the text message notification bug and also the yellow tint issue. I never had the tint issue, but I have been paying attention to forums and things like that to see if it's been fixed. But I can confirm that the text message notification bug is still not fixed in beta 3. Now, this could be fixed in this RC build in the final release as well, because we did get a lot of additional bug fixes, so that could be fixed, and I will let you guys know if it is in my public release video next week. But as far as the tint issue, I do not believe this has been fixed because Apple would have mentioned something about this. They would have put this in the release notes somewhere that this has been fixed. So I don't think that's been fixed here, unfortunately, but I do think that a fix is coming sometime soon. And it's the same situation with dual SIM 5G support. So if you do use dual SIM, you still cannot use 5G on both SIM cards. So that may come in a future software update. Apple did say that it's coming by late 2020, but it looks like if it's not in 14.3, I don't know if it's going to be at all in 2020. So we'll have to wait and see on that. They may actually just remotely enable that, server side with 14.3, the public release. I don't know. We'll see. And then also the loud notification sounds. Sometimes notifications will be loud. The alerts will be loud. Other times they'll be quiet. That also has not been fixed in the third beta or the RC build here either. Now, as far as performance goes, performance has been pretty good since beta 2, but beta 3 performance was even better. We got really good Geekbench scores here on beta 3. So if you go into the Geekbench scores here, you can see in the history, we got really good scores here on the third beta, 1600 and a 4071. So I'm gonna go ahead and run a quick benchmark test here as well, since I've had it installed for a little bit, to see if we have improvements over beta 3. But the performance in beta 3 was excellent. And now that some of the major bugs that have been annoying me since, having 14.3 on my device, since those have been resolved here with the RC build, I expect the performance to be even better and just a smoother experience overall, and definitely an improvement over 14.2 and 14.2.1. which is great. So you can see there we scored a little bit lower than beta 3, but there could just be some background processes going on and things like that. So that's not always indicative of better performance, but even still, you could tell it's an improvement over beta 2 down here, especially in the multi-core section. So I would expect performance to be great on 14.3. And again, I have noticed a slight improvement over 14.2 and 14.2.1. Now, as far as battery life goes, battery life, I've not been able to tell a difference from 14.2 and 14.2.1 to 14.3. However, I know some people have had battery drain issues on 14.2 and 14.2.1, and I'm pretty sure Apple is aware of this. So you could see battery improvements in 14.3 if you had battery drain issues. Me personally, I have not, and the battery life has been fine so far. So I will report back, when the final version comes out, because it will most likely be the same build. So I will let you guys know if anything has changed next week when that video comes out. Now, as far as connectivity goes, connectivity is decent. I mean, the RC build and the final build will have the same modem firmware as beta 3. And I've been using beta 3 for a week now, so I can say that it's no different really from previous betas. It's still just decent for me. I still lose signal for a longer amount of time than I did on the 11 series. Like when I have no signal, like dead spots, I will actually notice that I don't get signal back as quickly as I did on previous iPhones. So that's an issue. 5G still drains battery. 5G is still very spotty. So really nothing too impressive with connectivity here in terms of cell connectivity on 14.3. As far as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, they're fine. I really have no random drops or any kind of disconnects or anything like that. So really no complaints when it comes to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connectivity. But yeah, that's about it for iOS 14.3 RC build. Really not too much changed from beta 3. besides things like adding full compatibility for Fitness Plus, the new service coming out, and also AirPods Max. So those are the two big things, and also a lot of bug fixes included in this as well, which I will talk about more in depth in my final public release video. And speaking of that final public release, when can we expect to see iOS 14.3 released to everybody? So today is Tuesday the 8th, and on Monday is when Apple's Fitness Plus service launches. So Monday the 14th is when that service launches, and then the AirPods Max come out exactly a week from now on the 15th. And both of those, both Fitness Plus and the AirPods Max, require iOS 14.3. So that means that we need 14.3 before the 14th, on or before the 14th. So I think that we will see iOS 14.3 on the 14th, probably around our normal time, 1 p.m. Eastern time on December 14th, a Monday. Now, there is also a slight possibility of seeing 14.3 released this week, as early as maybe even Thursday on the 10th, we could see it, or even Friday. You know, those are more uncommon. Apple does not usually release software later in the week like that, but it is a possibility since Fitness Plus launches on Monday. Although I would still think that we would see, a release of both at the same time. So when 14.3 releases, Fitness Plus releases, and that's most likely going to be on Monday the 14th. So yeah, pretty exciting week next week. We get new software, we get Fitness Plus, we get the AirPods Max, a lot of fun content coming to the channel next week. So definitely make sure you guys are subscribed if you've not done so already, because we will have a lot of content coming here to the channel. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. And again, make sure you guys subscribe for a lot more iOS and AirPods content coming very soon. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.